Everybody. I felt like going live. Normally Patreons will get this first, but I'm a little late. It's Monday morning. It's a bank holiday here in the UK, so yay for a holiday. You guys are my holiday. Let's get into it. I'm an intuitive reader, and I like to do the monthly, weekly readings for you guys just to tune into the collective energies. Obviously, it's all for love. All to love. And if you want to get any merchandise, you can check all that stuff out in the description at some point. Certainly you can check out the website as well. So Aries, for the week ahead, it's December. It's August 28th, 2023. I also believe in the timelessness of being guided to certain messages. So whenever you receive these messages, if they resonate, then take them on. If they don't resonate, I might not be your reader. So divine guidance and loving clarity for Aries. Divine guidance and loving clarity. So some of you guys had a near miss with the King of Swords. Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. A near miss. A near miss. So, and heartbreak. Or this is something you've been overcoming. Yeah, Aries, there you are. Queen of Wands with King of Swords and Tower and the heartbreak reverse. Or this is, so this is maybe a committed partnership that's been going through a hard time. And instead of dissolving the relationship, so Venus is retrograde as well, right? So these retrogradations can often impact the dynamics that we're in. So, or this is like it's gone through a tower moment, it's gone through heartbreak, but it's right here. And then the Two of Pentacles is telling me that some of you might be working on a situation that has been through a lot. You know, you might be in a marriage and you were considering divorce, for example. This King of Swords also, there could be like a separation, and it might have been that this King of Swords was dealing with heartbreak and Tower, and I'm kind of thinking like some past situations, right? So maybe there's been separation, and this person you're dealing with, again, do what you like with the genders, right? But certainly in this context, the fire sign's over here, which would be you, and this air sign is over here dealing with a lot of grief and sort of chaos, a little bit of chaos underlying their character. So yeah, they're needing time to reflect. They're taking time to reflect. They're taking time, both of you are taking time to rebalance your energies. So, and intuitively you might have suspicious that there was an in and out energy. Knight of Wands in the reverse, so in and out. And this is partly why you've had to be super intuitive, possibly held back, because intuitively, emotionally, it's like you've sensed this turbulence, this grief and emotional despair, and again, this is something this person is endeavoring to process, but they're probably having a hard time, and so this is affecting your sense of self as well. Hence separation, rebalance, right? Rebalance, come back to yourself. This is something I've been acutely aware of over the years. You know, whether we're in a committed relationship or not, both parties still have to deal with themselves. And so when we're single or if we're endeavoring, remembering that we're all in this sort of awareness of awakening and self-responsibility and higher consciousness to endeavor greater peace and love in the world, right? So often is the case that these romantic relationships are triggering our own imbalances, insecurities, unworthinesses, right? And so I would also say, Aries, because you're in the reverse as well, I would like, this is warranted that you really tune into yourself. Come back to balance, right? Come back to your fearlessness. Come back to a sense of confidence, because what's coming in is this Knight of Pentacles. So it's almost like there is a situation, and it feels to me like both are kind of working on themselves, and that eventually there will be a sort of whether it's this person or another person at Pentacle, right? So an earth sign. But either way, this energy is like both people endeavoring greater fearlessness, both people wanting to create something stable, but both recognition of, or both people are recognizing the need to be stable within themselves, right? Before moving forward. So, all in all, this is a good read, and it's just that there's likely a separation here. And right, okay. And truly these two people are needing a lot of self-care, nurturing, and there is a lot of love. There's a lot of nurturance between you. There could be a child between you as well. And for some of you, there could be new love. But you're very reserved right now. For some of you, whether, you could be dealing with someone in your life and you're very, I want to say, like, sort of tight and, like, not necessarily expressing or showing your cards, that kind of thing. And I think it's like before there's this sort of receptivity of new love or desire to share out new love, you're really wanting to just come back to yourself and feel empowered and feel good and feel harmonious, feel balanced, right? And then I would dare say there is a connection here, and intuitively I'm feeling like you're kind of holding the space, open for stability, open for new love. And for some of you, you might end up reintegrating as both of these, this King of Swords and Queen of Wands, as they heal and regenerate and open up. There could be greater stability coming in for this dynamic, or a new love, a new partnership of sorts. But again, I think for a lot of you, you are prioritizing your own self-care and your own empowerment. So that's for Aries, August 28th to September, oh gosh, 3rd, I think. 3rd-ish. Okay, let's move on. Let's go to our Taurus lovers. Fixed earth sign. We're going to look at the Taurus for August 28th, the week ahead. Taurus, divine guidance and loving clarity for Taurus. Divine guidance. For some of you, you're dealing with an imbalance, probably at work. This is Emperor reversed with Six of Pentacles, like you're giving out too much, or somebody is sort of abusing their position of power and making you feel like you can't give enough. Now, this is definitely draining you emotionally, and so I think, yeah, conflict energy, emotional drainage, like not being able to see eye to eye, creative differences. And this is definitely to do with a superior, and very likely, I think, at work, but it's impacting you emotionally. Just drainage and like conflict, unresolvable conflict. So then I'm like, oh, what's the outcome? So it's like, I think for some of you, you're going to make a change in work. Because the Queen of Swords reverse is making me feel like it's like coming to this point within self where you're like, I don't think I can resolve this with this person. I don't think I can move forward with this person. I don't think they bring out the best in me. I think that's another way to look at work. Any kind of relationship dynamic is like, who am I with this person, right? And so if if you're in a situation where you don't feel good enough and you don't feel like your ideas are being met and you don't feel like you're being heard and you don't feel like you're being seen, it's like, are you going to keep going in that direction, or are you going to take a new beginning or kind of look out for a new beginning? I feel like this could be coming in for you. I'm going to shuffle and get just a few more cards for some clarity here on the direction for Taurus. Yeah, inner work, self-reflection, and then likely a sort of propelling you into a new beginning, receiving a new beginning, looking out into the horizon, but for a lot of you, it's looking within. Yeah, for a lot of you, you might well end up letting go. You might walk away from a situation. I feel like this is work, but for a lot of you, there's a creative attachment. You're invested. You've been invested in this working paradigm, in this situation, right? And then something's discordant, you're not feeling met, you're not feeling valued, etc. It's emotionally draining. This has probably been going on for a while. And the messaging of empowerment here is to go within, know your worth, know your value, etc. And like look out in the horizon. And then here it's like you're likely to walk away. Yes, there's definitely something better, more empowering. You'll know when to move, when to move, when there again, oftentimes this energy is like, you don't need to be impulsive just because we have a bad day or just because we, have a bit of a riff. However, when it's a pattern, when it's a sustained pattern and you don't think you can meet, you don't think you can see eye to eye, this is when you withdraw your consciousness, right? You withdraw your energetic attachment to the situation. You go within, go into your inner eye, go into your heart, and feel it out. Emperor upright, as you sort of probably vision the idea of walking away, there's other opportunities that are likely to be more empowering, that are likely to make you feel like, yeah, I definitely want that. And then there's a Ten of Pentacles. And in this deck, it's like a target. It's a colorful target. So it's like, you're like, you know what? I'm going to start to really focus on my pentacle, on what I really want, on what I feel I value, what I feel I deserve, etc. And this is an inner journey, right? That you're shifting into, because whatever you're dealing with or have been dealing with, you're starting to feel like, you know what, this really isn't going to be enough. And so you're likely to be in a bit of a pilgrim, inner journeying, shadow work, maybe some therapy, just finding a way to withdraw some of your energetic outpouring into a situation to then make a change. Hola, Michelle. Good morning. Okay, so we're going to move on to Gemini. Gemini, divine guidance and loving clarity for Gemini. Anyone who resonates with Gemini, you can always do reversals. Of course, you're just sort of discerning for yourself, taking the messages that resonate and leaving the rest. So divine guidance and loving clarity for Gemini. I'm just looking down. Wheel of Fortune. Things are changing. Things are moving. I do feel this is a positive upturn for Gemini. I sense there's some significant relationship things going on. Or I say relationship, I actually meant to say work and career stuff. I do intuitively feel like you're juggling a lot. You might be feeling a little stressed with regard to the Pentacles. And then emotionally drained. So, and I do believe there are transits reflecting these areas of life. This is sort of like the career and home axis for you, Gemini. So you might be feeling like you're pouring lots into the work and maybe not directly seeing a return, or actually feeling not just work, but life, right? Like, so we obviously connect work to generating pentacle, helping us feel sustainable and sometimes very connected, right? And having enough to give. This is an energy of not necessarily feeling like you have enough to give. And maybe even possibly being a bit concerned. For some of you, it could be like investments and stuff that have shifted and changed, and you're possibly like, oh, what do I do? So then this work stuff is also then possibly putting or affecting rather your home life. So because it's like your back is turned to the familial situation here, and there's a lot of joy. It's the 10 of cups. You have all this, like, you have a great family life, or a real sense of joy with regards to your home and family and togetherness, and just joyful fulfillment with regards to your emotional life. But something connected to Pentacle could be draining your ability to connect to home and family, and then also making you feel kind of like worried, possibly depressed, possibly just even angry about something. Then sometimes not always, but I'll sometimes notice the red. There's a red face. So not only is this person like, there's a sort of sense of grief and loss, but then you can also tune into this like, oh, like an anger almost, this frustration around the losses, or the not knowing what to do, or the worrying, or the not being able to spend enough time with family. So there's definitely a little bit of like conflict. For some of you guys, you might be feeling a little bit unsure about love. And this is also, for some of you, you might be dealing with a child and doing some healing, a healing conflict with a child, and having to be super intuitive with regards to love. So this is somebody you know. This is not like a new love. So, I mean, the work stuff is likely to be impacting some of the romantic stuff. There appears, and this is something your intuition is likely aware of, Gemini, is that there might be a bit of an imbalanced situation. This is from a past relationship where there's, again, possibly a child involved. Injustice. And Daughter of Cups. Injustice. There's no new beginning here. I mean, for some of you, this could be, because there's this 5 of Wands as well. This could be somebody you were married to, that you were 2 of Cups, you were in a commitment to. A child, there's lots of healing here, and there's still an underlying energetic conflict and imbalance. So on the horizon, there looks like there's a tower moment coming in. But then this underlying story also connects here, because it feels like this is possibly what's going on. The shadow aspect of why this financial imbalance and like home life uncertainty, frustration, dissatisfaction, why that is manifesting is because of this underlying a loss of love, maybe a lot like a loss of a child, and or a healing with regards to a child. Certainly a message, right? Connected to conflict, connected to some sort of like battle, right? Ooh, Gemini. Okay, so there is a tower moment regardless. Okay, so there's this tower moment coming in, and this is probably going to shake and rattle the earth a little bit here. The guidance is to stay as grounded as possible. I would dare say that's good wisdom. That's good guidance, and yet you're anchored in the wisdom of your intuition as well, which is super important. The additional layer is stay as grounded and present as possible. Whatever is coming down here is birthing something new and leading to transformation. So it's important. That's part of this whole game. Is endeavoring to go into stillness and silence and reflection, rather than all the different levels of reactivity and entanglement that can ensue with a tower moment. As in, the tower is coming down, and we grapple and try to hold on, and struggle to try to hold on, and fight for something that's already coming down. So that creates more struggle and resistance, right? I mean, there's definitely a career and home life access, or just the way you show up in the world and like the home life, and they're impacting one another. It's like there's got to be some sort of tower moment or big perspective shift. Again, something that's fairly the planet of Uranus is currently transiting through Taurus, which is a fixed earth sign. So, and I'm trying to think, for a Gemini rising, Taurus would be 12th house, right? So is that right? Yeah. And so spiritually, hence like the tower, then the butterfly energy, spiritually, and then the high priestess is right here too. This is like a karmic cycle, right? These are karmic completion cycles, karmic renewal cycles, depending on the decisions we make. But the tower is like, you know what? I got to break free. I got to break free from all of this. How do you do that? You can't even make this up. The Fool. How do you do that? You're gonna just step into a new beginning. Letting go. I keep hearing letting go. You know, it's a process here of letting go of the past and like healing that pain, healing that Five of Cups energy, and probably turning to the familial source, right? Turning to the family, turning that into how do we regenerate? How do we rebuild? How do I come back home? You know? How do I find justice? There's this divine healing, this high priestess energy is coming in to assist in this divine healing, reconnect you to your source, realign you to your home life and your pentacle in a more kind of holistic sense. Green. There's something about this new beginning. There is a fearlessness required. That this new beginning is ushering into sort of this enchanted garden. And yet, I think through the cycles you've been through, there's a gentleness, slowness, and mindfulness as you move forward into this garden. For some of you, there could be a shaman or a spiritual guru, somebody coming in to kind of reach out a hand and help you through this voidal healing transition, right? Gemini, I'm gonna leave it there. There's a lot of energy here, so I'm feeling it for you guys. Stay strong, stay grounded to the best of your ability, grounded and present, right? And then as the energies continue to shift and these things are released and you're trusting in your divine connection. High Priestess is also that, right? Seat of power, you trust in your divine connection to guide you forward. And then the new beginning, that would be the new energy source, right? Stepping into these new beginnings. And knowing you've grown to maybe not make the same mistakes or fall into the same pitfalls or traps, both financially and in love. Discernment. Okay, so let's move on. Cancer, let's go. Let's go. Cancer, let's go. Divine guidance, love and clarity for my Cancer lover, supreme. Oh, you know what? Yeah. So there is an energy here of overcoming difficult. I was going to reshuffle, but I was like, no, I gave her a good little shuffle there. Plus, there's a different dynamic. We do have Five of Cups, but it's reversed. So there's this energy of release and coming back to greater joy. Cancer, focusing on your home life. For some of you, the Hierophant is likely symbolic of a shift of your status. And likely connected to home. Overcoming grief, overcoming past pain, and then a greater commitment. So, and the Ten of Cups is here. So for some of you, there could be a proposal, a marriage, like, you know, when you take the relationship to the level where you both have each other's keys and that sort of thing. I'm hearing something about a request. Cancer. Cancer, for some of you, there's this feeling lucky around the Hierophant here is connected possibly to some heartbreak around a Queen of Wands. So Queen of Wands is a fire sign, Aries, Sagittarius and Leo. There's like a trick here for and like balancing the situation, feeling lucky after losses, right? Joyful reunion, I'm hearing. Okay. Heartbreak. There's definitely heartbreak connected to this Queen of Wands, but this Queen of Wands, again, do what you like with the genders. They might have been going through something connected to heart, healing, or there was somebody else involved. But you're feeling really lucky about the situation, or they're feeling lucky about the situation. If this is a partnership, there could have been, again, just pain to transform and then upgrade the situation. The person you're dealing with could be a creative poet, writer, musician, dancer, work with magic or something. Because I'm seeing this ball and I'm thinking of crystal ball. They work with their hands maybe, or are like healers. So you might be dealing with a kind of healer energy, or you're that as well. So this you might have been dealing with somebody who was just dealing with a lot of grief, isolation, which a lot of us have dealt with since pandemic energies, right? So and now there seems to be greater balance and sense of integrity and feel goodness, centeredness. So going from like pain and heartbreak to peace and connection, okay? Peace and connection. I do feel like this is the person you're dealing with because it's connected to Ten of Cups. It's connected to happy home life, right? And you're maybe after releasing and letting go and losing or breaking or whatever, it's like there's an upgrade. There's a status change, maybe proposal for some of you. Maybe you receive a proposal or you're going to give a proposal. Regardless, there seems to be healing and a lot of like just more centeredness, groundedness. Any more messages for Cancer for August? For Cancer, divine guidance and loving clarity. Any more messages here? Yeah. Six of Cups. So this is a return. There's a friendliness. This could be somebody from your past, even like your childhood, or even just, or somebody you when you meet, you're like, I know you. There's a real familiarity, a playfulness, joy, innocence as well, I hear. So reward, even Nine of Cups, right, is a wish fulfillment with this. This Queen of Wands energy I'm hearing, like this is a very broken energy, but yet with enough joy, love. There's this giant is like on the earth. There's this sort of earthly, innocent, playful connection, healing the tears, like burning through some of that ice. And then coming back into center. So there's been an upliftment in the home life through a commitment. I also get a sense that these two people are both very spiritual. So you might obviously have your own kind of sense of spirituality or perspective or connection, and the other person does as well. So I'm feeling for some of you, the connection here is a very healing, spiritual connection, and a lot of joy, a lot of fulfillment, right, within that kind of community dynamic. So let's move on. Thank you, Cancer. Divine guidance and loving clarity now for Leo. Divine guidance and loving clarity for Leo. How's it going, you guys? Hey, Michelle. 17. I can't see the month. The key. Okay, now Where are we now? Leo. Divine guidance and love and clarity for my Leo lovas. Divine guidance and love and clarity. Hey, thanks for the thumbs up, you guys. I appreciate. Oops, shoot. Shazam. Divine guidance and love and clarity for Leo. Divine guidance and love and clarity. It's going. Hey, Cicero. Yeah, so normally the Patreons get this first. Like I would do this just with the Patreons, but it's nice to go live once in a while and still be connecting with you guys. The top tier patrons also get access to the new weekly yoga session I'm doing. And sometimes I feel guided to be, be doing more yoga online, but just these little sessions, which are kind of really useful for people. But anyway, more on that in the next newsletter. So go ahead to Alt11 and subscribe. This reading is for Leo for the week ahead, August 28th to, again, I forget, but I think it's September 3rd, thereabouts. Man, there's a lot of like emotional stuff going on for all the signs. And I'm thinking, it's Leo that Venus is retrograding in, isn't it? Or is it Virgo? I think Mercury's in Virgo and Venus is in. So, okay, so maybe it's this feel. I am hearing this sense of letting go. It's like there's a resistance to letting go of something, a way of thinking. For some of you, okay, Knight of Wands reversed here is making me think that there's something about the way you've moved through life that you're like, this isn't working for me anymore. It's causing more grief. Maybe it's sort of feeling like a kind of non-committal, like playboy, playgirl, like never taking anything seriously or just being the party fun, or it's all light and airy and fun until it's not. And there's a 5 of Cups supporting this. So I'm like, and all the reversals are just giving me a sense of like resistance or like, oh God, like I gotta let this go. And I don't want to, but I know I have to. And then the 5 of Cups is like, okay, it's just gonna happen. Like it's just these cups are gonna spill, or this trigger is gonna happen. Yeah, 5 of Swords, like whether you like sit with it and allow it to come from within, or what, and I kind of think it's all just like divine anyway, but like, or someone says something or does something that triggers you in such a way that you're like, enough, like I can't do it like this anymore. So you're having, I think, a pretty big shift around the way you think and operate creatively, like how you move through the life, like yourself. And it's like there's some emotional grief, there's some emotional stuff that's got to be released for you to really stand tall and proud in who you are. For some of you, there could be an inheritance coming in like on the horizon. Oh my goodness, that could be part of it. So part of maybe what triggers this shift for you is a substantial loss. Sorry to say in that regard, and yet this is life, right? So yeah, there could be a loss of a father figure or elder. And then that triggers, that's a catalytic kind of emotional release, which then actually rises the pinnacle and helps you heal. Because this is so profound, it helps you heal stuff, right? It helps you finally let go. Because Leo, in this reading, I would say, yeah, you're definitely like, it's almost like if you don't let go of this old way of operating, it's just going to get worse. It's just going to feel gackier. It's going to feel less like, and so there's big cosmic part of you that knows that this like isn't sustainable, that you need to make a decision. But also it's like if you don't make a decision, there's also things coming in that kind of will lead you to that same level of healing regardless. It's just whether or not like you choose to step into it, or again you let kind of karmic law step in for you. So part of the guidance there is the Queen energy, which to me has a lot to do with self-love and adornment and self-care. That's definitely some guidance for you. As in, if something's not working and you don't know what else to do instead of what's not working, just don't do anything. As in, maybe go on a retreat or go to the spa or just get some alone time, like to reflect on how you're using your energy and how you're using your life force. Definitely, Leo. So this is the kind of stopgap, is like the best decision you can make for this week is like just some self-care, rest where possible. Yeah, take some time to meditate for sure. It's almost like you're going through an aspect of maybe an ego death and a rebirth. There is some heaviness emotionally, which weirdly, like in this regard, like this heaviness just doesn't seem to want to go away, but because it's not meant to just be like, oh, joyful, there's this heaviness that's dropping you into greater maturity, which once that heaviness is processed, there's this grounded, deeper maturity, and that grows, right? Eventually. And there's things reflecting that coming in that are like, oh, that's the manifestation of that growth. None of this is necessarily going to be easy, but if you can work on continuing to establishing those self-care routines, that self-adornment, the way that you feel passionate and sexy and alive, right? That will serve you as you continue to be guided to let go of different old ways of thinking, old ways of showing up, old ways of looking for validation and attention and etc. Healing that wound, right? And then allowing yourself to prosper, basically. All right, nice one, Leo. Not too shabs, you know, just onward and carry on and just keep swimming and hope for the best. Where are we now? Leo, Virgo. How's everybody doing? It's a bank holiday in the UK today, which I don't always. I will often have sessions, but on this occasion, because I've had an exceptionally busy few weeks, I decided to have, I only actually had one official that I had to reschedule. Anyway. No, people don't really care. Anyway, I'm having the day off after our readings here. Maybe that's why I felt like going live, because I know I can chill out. And how's the weather looking? Nah, not bad. I went in the sea a few times this weekend, which was lush, around the workflow. Divine guidance for my Virgo lovers. Oh no, Virgs, no. Sorry, you guys. Crack on. We're gonna crack on with the reading, shall we? Working hard for the money. Virgo, you're working hard. Of course, that's like the thing with Virgo, isn't it? Go easy on yourself, Virgo. I jest because I have a Virgo moon, and I have the people that have Virgo energy, there is a resonance in a certain, like, needing things to be a certain way before you can like settle or be comfortable. But then there's also those edges with Virgo that can be martyrdom and overly perfectionist stuff, and or like that inner critic can also be connected to the Virgo energy. So there's always polarity, right? There's the light and the dark of all these signs and all these aspects that we talk about. And it's a beautiful process in truth to really get to know oneself, and then let us have a deeper understanding of the mechanics of these relationships that we end up in, and how we can empower ourselves to keep transforming our own separation and lack, to see from that more unified perspective, which, I think truly in the long term, although, time will tell, it does harmonize the whole, and it continues to evolve us into that greater spirit of love and empathy. And the shadows for everybody will come at different times, in their journey. So relinquishing the need to resist, and just keep, focusing on our own heart space and trust and integrity. Integrity came up in a conversation I was having yesterday. And of course, the old paradigm is all blaming and, remaining in our victimhood just through blaming and attacking the external, versus the unity perspective. And, the gateway of shadow work really offers us a unified perspective, so that there's a real clarity and neutrality and understanding where and why and why are people acting out, and what are those energetics really reflecting to us, because that's the art of creatorship, or law of attraction, is that recognizing we're attracting it through our own inner perception. Everything's happening in our, it's bonkers, but just miraculous and beautiful as well. So and helping one another through compassion, loving, understanding, to continue to open up, to have that understanding, because it helps us all as individuals grow, right? And um again, my perspective, to create better systems for the whole entire world. Oh, my beautiful coffee, I do love you, but not as much as God. Okay, Virgo, you are working hard, maybe feeling a little burnt out. Sorry to say, Virgs. What is this download? So there's something here about Magician reverse, Ace of Swords. You might have a couple things, like not taken an opportunity. It didn't feel right. You might have received a message or something to be like, hey, come over here. This would do you magical wonders. And you're like, I'm good. I'm going to stay working on what I'm working on. I think that's a good thing, even though you're kind of tired and it feels like you might be a bit like, oh God, burnt out working on your own. This is empowering some divine will or strength in you. Also, with the Magician reverse, I'm like, don't take that offer, because the Magician reverse is saying that this is possibly one of those scam situations. So Virgo, you're another one that's like, be mindful of messages that don't feel quite right, or feel too good to be true, or like, you could have this wand and all of these things and it's going to be magical, and you're like, intuition, is it true? And it's like, no, keep working. So, but part of what you're being guided to in this work discipline, I'm hearing, is a new regenesis, like a new beginning in your love. And I always interpret a double whammy. If you've been single and are like, have been putting it out there but also can't be bothered, and you're just work 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 work, there is new love coming in. But what I was saying was that I also interpret the Ace of Cups as just feeling really good, like finally getting over a whole bunch, and then being like, ooh, finally you have an overflowing cup, which is difficult sometimes for Virgo, right? Because you want to serve, I just serve all the time, right? It's like, oh, but here it looks like after this, it's like you're learning how to top up. You're learning, and plus, if you're cutting out some distraction, that's another Ace of Swords. It's like, no, enough of the charlatans, enough of the other people clouding my mind. Coming back into your internal strength and being dedicated to something. I'm hearing a dedicated project you've been working on, and you're maybe a bit frazzled and burnt out, but you've done a lot, you've accomplished a lot, and there's this like emotional reward coming in. But then when I look down and there's another Ace of Cups, this is pretty symbolic of you're going to start to feel really good. And then there's going to be another cup that comes in. So, new friendships, new love, new new just feelings, right? Which again, that's part of this creative process, are the feelings. Ooh, Virgo, this is juicy. Like really getting into what you're creating, and I respect that, Virgo. That's massive. Oh, I feel excited. Bunny rabbit here, or just rabbit, but still. There's an excitement and a new, just a newness, like for your desire to move forward. Integrated wisdom comes through a lot, especially because if you're cutting out stuff that doesn't resonate, it's like that's going to help you stay really clear, so that if things start to speed up a bit, or it feels like you're going to have to jump around and make different decisions, just be aware that you don't need to just jump around. You can take in everything before making that movement, right? So don't be rushed. That's an energy I get from the rabbit. Like, don't freak out and feel rushed or pressured. But that's a similar thread coming through for a lot of the signs. Don't let anyone rush you. If you're dubious, don't choose it, right? Like if you're suspicion scam, if you're just not sure, it doesn't mean things are a scam, but it might not be your bag, right? So don't let yourself be rushed. I think as well, I'm getting this sense of like with the collective confusion, it it's like we all really want to be tuned into ourselves, because we genuinely like, it's not up to us to figure out what's best for other people. It's only up to us to figure out what's best for us, and then trust that everybody else is doing that too, so that everyone else can make their own grand choices, and that they'll be fine. You know, some of these little insights or noodles or psychological offerings, I think are really grounding for us to know that, we're all making mistakes, and we're all endeavoring to be more wise and grounded, and that really truly the best thing is to just trust and have faith that other people can do that, and to come back to yourself. And certainly with the technological race, I think it's increasingly important for us to slow down and like rest more, process emotion more, take time. Hey, Duck. How are you? Hey, Rochelle. Rochelle. Hug a hug. Hug a hug a hug a hug a hug. Rochelle. Okay, so I think you guys, some of you guys have, no doubt, right? Some of you guys have definitely been working on a project. First, you're going to feel better. So there's going to be an emotional shift that could bring in good stuff, but certainly you're going to be feeling good and feeling renewed and and like abundant emotionally. And then there's still this kind of slow moving patience that's being required for your upgrade, as it were. Like some of it could be just working too hard, having been through enough, and then just literally needing a break from work eventually. And once you have that break, more energy, more renewal, and then again, don't make any rash decisions, stay grounded. But what's coming through is then this sort of up level, as it were. What do they call that? A glow up. But this is also slow move. It's almost like you're not going to control this. Nature's in control of this. It's like there's stuff growing, there's things happening, there's roots being laid down, all of it's happening, and it's just that you're not necessarily going to see the whole thing right away. You're going to just have to take this bit and then this bit and know that it's grounding and ripening, right? With this, so I'm hearing for somebody this is a long-standing project, 9 years, 8 years, right? And now it's going through this rebirth. Maybe it is a child, maybe your kid's going through puberty or leaving home, or like there's but either way, you being really focused on work, I think, is helping you kind of cut out the raff, cut out the Shazam that doesn't serve you, and the people that aren't really in their integrity. And then you're just having to be really patient and know that you'll be guided to move in the right moment, and that the things that you're manifesting are manifesting. You're just having to be really patient because it's kind of like going slow. It's like having to wait for a tree to bud or create the fruit, and then you have to wait for the fruit to ripen before you can pluck the goodness. But there's definitely some goodness coming in. Virgo, I like this. This feels really grounded, really like it, in that workflow. Go easy on yourself, Virgo, right? Remember to take a break as well, and to trust. Trust allows us to take breaks. Having trust and having faith, that energy allows us to chill out. It allows the divine and the universe and stuff to kind of step in and support us. Or meditation is pure stillness. You just sit there and do nothing. And yet those of us that meditate know that it's a very active practice of presence, because that requires practice to continue to bring that light of awareness, that light of your own stillness and grace, etc., into your creative field, right? Most of us have trauma that made us deny those aspects of ourselves. So cultivating and working on your spiritual connection, that's always useful for all of us. And it can help to abate or just kind of quelch some of that inner critic that is often sabotage or kind of detrimental energy. All right. Okay. So we're moving on to Libra. And you're coming through. Something's sort of pulling you down here. Probably the inner critic. But it also could be a child, somebody younger than you. I'm hearing something like going astray. They might be like, freaking out about something, having a bit of a wobble. Page of Wands, a fire sign. It could also be you getting a message that feels like it's limiting you. So receiving a message feels like it's limiting you. Receiving it from somebody younger. You've already gone through this though, I suspect. And so part of the shift for you this week is like you integrating this sense of limitation and feeling then empowered. Be like, you know what, I'm a magician. I still have all the tools. I can still do all the things I want to do. So Libra, you're coming into a real like a renewal of you, and also a renewal of like your sense of direction. I feel kind of excited about this magician energy. Like, ooh, like what could I do? Where could I go? All those sorts of things. It's like it feels kind of percolating. Oh, because then the Four of Swords there is like, yeah, you're finally just going, you know what? I'm not done, dead, done over. Can't change it. The past is the past. Let's know it for what it is. And now here we are. Magician. Full of beans. I'm hearing full of beans. Full of beans, full of flowers. Yeah. Fully risen. I'm hearing this is gorgeous, Libra. For some of you, it could have been a very profound healing. The Empress reverses, and the way the Empress is in this deck, obviously to me, this is it's Empress, it's a feminine energy. This is connected to the roots of our life, and thus the tree of our life. And because it's reversed, I would say this energy of what we've laid down and these sense of limitations, the things that have pulled away a sense of opportunity or openness or opportunity is the right word, really. And then this is finally letting go, and empowering it is then releasing the past pain. And for some of you, because it's Empress, I want to connect it to the mother energy, the maternal lineage, and or the feminine aspect within yourself. Grace. There's something about grace here. Healing with grace or something. Like some of you are doing that. Oh, yeah. Ooh. A real gentleness here with the deer. And I'm getting shivers for some reason. So there's something profound in the way that you're healing. maybe like the mother energy or the... So for some of you, something about this healing is regenerating into like a gift, more than likely in this channel, like a spiritual gift. And like, because the magician's upright and you're creating a new life, a new vision for yourself in this swirling healing phase. Like now, because you've healed this maternal feminine edge or feminine wound, whatever it is, you're feeling really compassionate, you're feeling very whole, you're feeling very adaptable, very compassionate, very... Did I say that already? You know, but there's a maybe, but you could still have slight hesitation around integrating and or stepping forward with your gifts or sussing out what they are. It's something creative, I would say. And or just like emotional, like mystical, beautiful, alluring. There's something muse-like possibly about the gift that you have. And there's a jewel that you're excavating, right? It's like having to go into the womb of wisdom to extrapolate the gems that you can share out. And I feel like maybe this is what you're starting to look at. Like, how can I share more of these gifts? Or how can I be more fearless in the way you move forward, but then in this very deeply anchored, compassionate, loving, graceful, adaptable, movable, like it's just it's really lovely. I am gonna leave it there, Libra. You know the score, you guys. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Hey everybody, nice to see you all here. As you know, I normally, typically week by week, I am posting these first on Patreon. So Patreons get first access ad-free. Top tier patrons get access to weekly yoga sessions that I'm starting in September, so mid to end of September. It's a half an hour session on Zoom, so you get a Zoom link for that. And otherwise, you know, there's merchandise and the monthly readings. I don't know where I was going with that, but we're moving on to Scorpio. Scorpio, let's get your cards for the week ahead. August 28th, Scorpio, divine guidance and loving clarity, Scorpio. There you are. Death. Rebirth. Death, rebirth. Ooh. Some of you I feel might be holding on. Okay, because the sun is here being like, you're ready to be reborn. You're ready to be reborn, okay? But it's almost like maybe some of you are frightened or fearful. It's like, oh God, I've been wallowing in the death energy, or I've been really enjoying just letting parts of myself go, and now it's like, okay, but now you've got to move forward. What's nice here is that I feel like you've healed some imbalance perspective in the way you make money or the way you generate finance for yourself, the way you generate your material like kickback. And then, because part of the death card is marching you into the Nine of Pentacles, which is like a self-made energy. There's new money and or more money coming in, or a sense of being on top of it and having enough to keep reinvesting, basically growing your money. 6 to 9, you're like, and you've gone through a transformational process to do so, which is pretty clear. I like it. It definitely healed some stuff to create new perspective, which then generates this rebirth cycle. Message. You might get a message from a Page of Wands. That's a fire sign energy. Sometimes it can indicate someone younger than you, but it doesn't have to. It's just an Page of Wands. We're going to get clarity on that. That's an energy of Empress. messenger or something. And that's the sun as well. No, that's the magician. Well, that could be also something you are manifesting. You could be manifesting a message. Oh, okay. Some of you are becoming like a messenger. And because it's this card, this always makes me think of the Lamb of God as an expression of the Bible, I believe. But because it's connected to the messenger of the page, an empress of growth and expression and creativity, sword, thought, inner eye, right? The Lamb of God expressing that divine, I'm hearing like voice of reason or something. But point being, the message I'm getting from these three with the death and the rebirth and possibly connected to your career is like, you are a messenger. So you have like a creative vision that you're meant to share with the world. It's so beautiful, Scorpio. I'm going to leave it there. Really lovely. And again, quite clear to the point message. So let's go on. Sagittarius. Thanks for being here, you guys. Give her smash that like button, as they say, and subscribe if you like tarot and if you like my style. I appreciate it. It's so cool to get to know people. It's such a privilege to be able to read for people and to do yoga with people as well. Sagittarius. We're getting into the week ahead for August. You might have a message, or there's likely to be a message coming through. It warrants your strength because it could feel like it's destabilizing. There could be a loss. There could be something like you're not going to see coming, but a message of someone's passing, possibly. Because it's stability. It's something that's connected to your sense of stability. Or simply a message of change. We're not going to do it this way. What? Oh, okay. And then it's like you need strength, and then there's more unknowns coming in, Sagittarius. So just stay grounded, stay connected to your power, to your personal strength. That's super important because stuff's coming in that you're just not going to be able to see until it lands, right? The moon, things are in the dark. You might get glimmers, might get sensations, right? Very intuitive feminine energy, the darkness, the watery realms. So it's like being connected and grounded to your strength is going to help. There you are as well. There's the King of Wands, Lovers energy. So again, there's that sense of just stay committed to yourself and your path. Because the stuff coming in all feels sort of like false start or destabilizing stuff. You're going to have to roll with it, right? You're going to just roll with it. Stay connected to your strength. Stay connected to your vision, your power, your sense of love. And you'll be able to see everything appropriately and or clearly eventually. But while you're in the dark, just stay in your power, stay in your center, stay in your divine connection and faith, so that when stuff comes in, if it's a bit shocking or if it's a bit destabilizing or sad or whatever, you will still have your strength to rely on. Because again, King of Wands with the Lovers, it makes me feel like either you're going to have a great love come in or you're going to feel super duper empowered as the cycle unfolds. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Sag. Love you guys. Saggy. Divine guidance and love and clarity. Now we're moving on to Capricorn. Divine guidance and love and clarity for Capricorn. The usual then. Hala, 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 hala. Capricorn, Capricorn. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for, Capricorn? Yeah, it's like you've done all that healing. You processed all that pain. Now it's like, well, now what? What are you waiting for? It's something about it's time to take some or no, sorry, I lie. It's not like it's time to take action. It's time to look around you. Look around and see what's out there. Yeah. Allow that gentle ushering of divine inspiration to come in through that heart space as you're healing and have been healing. Look up. Start this 4 cups. Like, what are you waiting for? Look up. You've done the healing. You've got the inspiration. Oh, Clover girls. Yeah, I kind of just relinquished it, Rochelle. It just fell away. I enjoyed it, but yeah, lots of little things have fallen away. Although, and I guess that would be ushering other bits and boobs. Oh, I could go to the Patreon actually, because yeah. Divine guidance, love and clarity. Hella, hella, hella. Be super mindful of any messages that destabilize you. This is, I mean, I think as well for some of you, because you've gone through some loss, pain, and grief, you're just taking a bit of extra time to reflect on things before moving forward. And yet, the guidance here is like, do start to look out. Do start to consider your options. Do start to look out in the horizon. The 2 of Wands to me is an awesome card because it's like you have the world in your hands. There's like all these amazing opportunities that are going to start to open up. It's like, be open to it, right? It's beautiful. You've got a lot of stability in the ground as far as like you are more grounded and or you are ready. It's just that maybe as soon as you hear this, it's like, I don't feel ready. Okay, but you will be. You will be by the end of this week. You're going to feel refreshed. There's an opportunity to really ground in greater stability after times of instability or turbulence, generating more pentacle. For some of you, I'm hearing you might be messaging or having messages back and forth with a potential investor, or even like a friend who is like wanting to come in and invest in your business or help you out or something. I'm feeling like for most, but not all, obviously these are generals. I actually feel like you guys are going through a rebirth in your work life. I'm probably you've been working on this for a while, and like the rebirth is now really, it's like this phase of instability or having to juggle everything. That's what you're rebirthing and letting go of, and to establish a really strong foundation, really good working connections, affiliations, investments, whatever, always really grounded and stable. It's like maybe for now the love game is just a little bit on the back burner because you're focusing on this stability, wanting to receive the divine inspiration to lead you to be more open to what the opportunities are coming in. So yeah, there's that, gently letting that rebirth energy really come through. It's like the 5 of Cups reversed in the middle is making me think like the deepest, darkest, most painful, shadowy stuff is now over. It's reversed. You have overcome like the depth of despair that you might have been in at some point regarding any number of things. But you're slowly getting, or like messages will come in. Like things are starting to shift behind, underneath, whatever around you. You've created more stability. You've gone through this rebirth more than likely in your material working life. And now you're ready to like open up. What's next? What next opportunity? What next travel plan, adventure, whatever it is, right? It's going to be different for everybody. So, all right, my Capricorns, thank you so much. Looking forward to connecting with all of you within this video, the daily readings. I don't do the daily readings all the time. In fact, today I did the daily reading live on Instagram. I've just had a groundbreaking idea, of course. So I can do more lives on Instagram to be able to connect with you guys on the Insta for those who don't want to join the Patreon. And then on, yep. And then I'll just be doing the lives for the Patreons on the YouTube, on the tube. So get over onto the Instagram if you want to connect live from time to time. Well, or most days. I suspect I'll go live like a fair bit now. The only reason it's easier is because the upload time can take all day, hours and hours, when I'm uploading multiple across the different channels. Anyway, again, not your guys' problem, but I appreciate you. I'm really grateful for our lovely love community here. Aqua, divine guidance and loving clarity. So I'm getting a sense of karmic generational healing here. Very profound karmic healing with that with the 10 of sword. And as you heal, you step into 10 of pentacle. Ooh. Aqua, Shazam. With the 6 of sword, or pardon me, the 6 of success, the 6 of wand. I've never noticed all the other people in that card before, but I'm realizing there's like a whole team of you that are like being recognized. You might have been working on something within a constellation of people. It could have been some profound healing project, or like I said, generational healing. Like you could have healed the family lineage and now you're like having this amazing kickback or inheritance, or just really truly all this money and success coming in for you. Wow, Aquarius, can I be you guys? This is amazing. You've earned, I mean, on a spiritual, emotional level, whatever your belief system is, you have earned it because you've been through the 5 of Cups and the 10 of Swords. And this is grief, and this is pain, and this is backstabbing after I can't do it, but I must, but I can't do it, but I must. Cycle after cycle of just a lot of loss and pain and grief. I'm laughing to make it lighter because of the depth of what you have conquered, you could say, right? So I'm hearing something of like, you're going to need it because Pluto is going to go through your sign. Pluto's about to step in. So, you know, whether it's sun, ascendant, whatever, for me, when I look at my natal chart, when I look at the transits, it's like, this is why astro is amazing. Once you start to analyze it and look at it and look at transits, you can pinpoint like, I wonder what was happening in my transit when this stuff was happening. And it is legit because for me, when Pluto was transiting over my ascendant, life was like, right? And then when Pluto transit over my, because I have 2 placements in Capricorn, so when then Pluto transit over my south node, and it's great because it went back and forth multiple times, and each time it was like, you will be responsible, you will know your power. It's the destroyer. It helps us evolve, but evolution comes through often really painful, ugly, energetic stuff that goes in within this human body. But the point of all that is then this, right? Is to allow us to go, thank you. Yeah, life is beautiful. Because that's the polarity, because we wouldn't know this unless we know that. And then that makes us feel this. With all of our comrades, with all the people that we've been riding and fighting with, and you know, because that's what that six of wands comes after the 5 of wands, and the 5 of wands is a battle. You know, it's not like the 5 of swords where you've conquered and now are ready to move to calmer waters. This is like, rah, rah, and then everybody's like, we did it. We're riding home to express the success and be validated and recognized by the people in our lives. So it's like a homecoming. This is a very beautiful reading. I'm not even going to pull any more cards. This is a homecoming for you, Aquarius. You're going to make some profound choice that relieves you of your karmic past and burdens, multi-generational healing, embracing a whole coming into the full balance And for some of you, a recognition. Oh, that was a beautiful, oh my God, that was a beautiful reading, you guys. Sorry. Okay. Divine guidance and loving clarity for Pisces. You guys are beautiful. I think that card wants to be seen. There you are. The Magician, King of Cups, reverse. You've risen out of emotional chaos and confusion. And that's a beautiful thing, Pisces, because for a lot of you, your magician energy is the embodiment needed for the collective. As far as Saturn is transiting the Pisces part of our chart, and that is like taking all of our dreamy, watery, like expansive, voidal energies and landing it into something concrete, right? Conjuring, making magic. That from our three-dimensional consciousness is like moving water, right? It's actually like working with the elemental forces in a way that we would think is a fairy tale, right? So you're going from maybe feeling a bit emotionally forlorn, out of control, like not knowing yourself, and then it's like you're coming into more of a full embodiment. For some of you, I do feel this has been through a lot of shadow work, a lot of inner work. I mean, it's kind of the same for lots of peeps, I think. I feel like for some of you, you've actually got something to offer as well. Like, for some reason, I'm seeing you, like, shout stuff out. Yeah. Like, the horn. I'm feeling you, like, having to, hey, everybody, guess what? And shouting out, and then people receiving. No, it's like you're not holding yourself back anymore. I'm feeling like this is really, really important for the world, and just obviously for you, Pisces, as well. But there's something really healing about what you're doing, and like connected to the watery realms, bringing healing to the water. I mean, you're the ocean, Pisces, right? You're the, and then Scorpio's the deepest, darkest bits of the ocean, and then like Cancer's like the waves that are moving everything around or something like that. But you're the body, you're the movable, constant, changeable body, and there's something that you're offering here. Ha, I'm just connecting to a friend's energy right now who I'm aware is Pisces, and I'm like, this is actually quite important, or not important, it's reflective, it's affirmative of stuff they're doing. So be aware. So possibly something connected to love, moving something forward. There's a slight I would say slight emotional disturbance, a lot of love there. The Cancer Chariot energy could be that there's a child connected to your love dynamic, and the child might be having a bit of a difficulty moving forward, finding it's like maybe if you have a kid who's at that age where they're going to go to school, they might be having a bit of a hard time figuring out what they want to study, or if they want to study. It's like they're trying to excavate their pearls of wisdom. They're going through that kind of existential, like, who am I, not knowing when to move forward. Either way, I mean, that could be going on within your familial love life, like, as in a kid, and, you know, you're all holding space here. But certainly there's something you're getting ready to, or are expressing to the world. It's very healing. And I feel like this endeavor, or this project, this thing that you're feeling emboldened to move forward to, eventually is going to help you have greater insight around growth and elevation. For some reason I'm feeling, but it's just not quite, it's like there's a few things that need to happen before that elevated perspective really opens itself up. Plus, it likely is that there's a bit more community that could be coming around you. That's necessary for you as well. People to assist and help and show up. And yeah, there's just a few more changes here before you really honor and feel the fullness of the integration and then birth this new phase. So there's a lot of again, a kind of renewal, major arcana, right, with big changes, and then underscore some familial, you know, stresses and hindrances, but nothing that would take away from what you're meant to do and how you're meant to express it and create it and heal or assist in the healing. Something about going to the water, healing via the elements as well. So there's something about all that too. Okay, there you go, Pisces, and everybody. Thank you for being a friend. Travel back to doing back again. So it's always great to be here with you guys. And if you're interested in joining the Patreons, please do. I always say this, but it's true. Patreons get ad free. So usually it's the Patreons that I'll be doing this with, but it's, you know, from time to time, it's really cool just to tune in, because I used to do live shares like every day and just razzmatazz, talk about whatever. But always from an intention of greater love and wisdom and compassion and empathy and wanting the world to be a fairer, better place for as many people as possible. There's such an abundance here, and it's such a beautiful home, and wild, and, you know, yeah, just exquisite on so many levels. So it's great to be able to share that with you guys. And the tarot, I just find to be a really helpful tool of guidance, right? To affirm our own spirit and our own intuitive sense of things. And but again, take it all with some lightness, as far as remember that you're your main source of power. And then there's these tools in our collective worldly experience that seem to help us connect to that deeper meaning or that deeper sense of connection, which I do feel is such a important part of our human evolution into greater love, and empathy, is to be connected to one another, and that requires us to be connected ourselves. Oh, it's magic, you know. I love you guys loads. Have an awesome week ahead. I'll look forward to seeing you. Check out Instagram. Also love Instagram for the daily, sometimes maybe more live, and join the Patreon to get more live time too. I'll see you guys. Have a great week. And yep, I just said that. I'll see you next week. Take care. Peace out, you guys. Love you loads.